In this video, we're going to make the screen follow Mario. So I'm going to go to my room here and I'm going to add some more walls. And what I did with the wall is, for the wall, I put a little border around. So I'll put a little border of red, let's say, on my transparent color, just so I can see where the walls are. And so you can see I've got walls up here that I haven't tiled over top. And if and as I add more room, I'm going to need to add some more walls. So I like to see them. So they're in red tiles, and I can add the tile here. So for example, I need to add some tile over here. So I go to the tiles and I carry on with doing some more tiling. Great, so there's wall there, so obviously there needs to be some object showing that there is wall there. Okay, anyhow, I want to make the room bigger. So I'm going to go to my settings and I'm going to add a 0. So instead of 640 for width, I'm going to make it 6,400. So it's going to be 10 times bigger than the original. Why 6,400? Just arbitrary. I thought that sounds like a good size. So now that I make it 6,400, you'll see I've got a big room, and I've got lots of space to put all sorts of platforms and Goombas and all sorts of things. Okay, next thing I want to do is I'm going to put some walls out. So I'm going to go to my object and I'm going to select the wall, and I'm going to put some wall all along the bottom. Maybe I'll make a little bit of a hill here to climb. And then maybe with a hill there will be a hole so you can fall out of the room, and that'll be the first time I've done that. So I'm going to have to fix up my Mario a little bit for that coming up. And I'm just going to quickly, just for time's sake, I'm only going to stop right about here and tile this in now, so you can see some things. So again, I go back to tiles, and I can select tiles and tile away to make the walls have a picture. Because what we do next is, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to, with this, we're going to make it back to being invisible. So let me just finish the last bits of this real quick here, and I'll put on corners and the other corners. And what else do I need to do? Side bit and this little bit. Now, people say, well, there's all this red lines in here. I don't want these red lines. How do I get rid of these red lines? Because the red lines don't look so good. And I agree, the red lines don't look so good. So we want to get rid of them. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to our wall sprite, and I'm going to edit the sprite. And where I made it gray, or red rather, I'm going to fill it back in. I'll take the eyedropper, and I'll select that color, and then I can just use the pencil or any tool and make it back to that transparent color. I chose a transparent color of gray. In fact, usually what we tend to do is probably use some sort of green. So I'll make it maybe back green screen again here. And because I said in the sprite it's transparent, it's all the same color, it uses the transparent color of whatever pixel is in right here, this pixel where my cursor is. And that, of course, in this case is green, or it could be gray, any color. And whatever that is, anywhere it sees that color, which in this case it's all that color, it's all green, is going to be all transparent. So now when I say OK, the red lines are gone. Okay. So that would be fine, but if I play the game, what's going to happen is Mario's going to leave the room. So when he walks out of the room, I've got a nice large room. Great, but how do we make the room follow Mario? and it's really very easy. Whoa, the room is really big here, isn't it? So what I need to do first off is I need to say, great, I want to use views. So I put a check mark for enable the use of views, and then I say what I want visible when the room starts is 640 for a width and 480 for a height. And so now when I press play, it's not going to show 6,400 by 480. It's going to just show a view of 640 by 480 because I put the check marks in those places. But there's a problem here. And what the problem is when Mario walks out of the room, he actually leaves the room. He's still in the room, but we just can't see it. So what we need to do is down here at the bottom in the views section, we not only have to enable the use of views, check mark there, and put a check mark for visible when room starts, but I also tell the room to view object Mario and put a horizontal border of half. I want Mario to be in the middle. So if I'm close to an edge, it won't move. But if I'm away from an edge, it'll make sure that 320 is going to be the minimum that it's going to show of space. So right here is 320, so it's not going to move at all, but as I get outside close to this part, it's going to make it move. And how did I come up with 320? Well, if I want them in the middle horizontally, my width is 640. So half of 640 is 320, so that's going to put Mario in the middle. I don't worry about vertical because I can see all the vertical part of the screen. That's always all in view because the height is only 480, so we never do that. So now when I press play, what's going to happen is the room is going to follow Mario. So as we walk to the right here, you're going to see that Mario is going to stay in the middle and the rest of the room is going to be left behind. If I go back, all the actions are still going on. The Goombas are still walking back and forth, and the objects are still in their places. But I can continue on my journey, and Mario can carry on with his journey down the trail here.